The last lesson demonstrated how the digital signature certificate of Alice and the encryption certificate of Bob can be combined to implement a signed and encrypt approach for emails, with the effect that to anyone apart from Alice and Bob, the content of the email is completely inaccessible, even, for example, for Eve, that sits on the very same network as Alice and Bob and sniffs on all the communication taking place between Alice and Bob. This was very impressive and very cool to see, and this short lesson is just about demonstrating the effect of the revocation of Alice's digital signature certificate on the validity verification of the certificates involved, as conducted by Bob upon receiving an email from Alice. Before going into the revocation of Alice's signing certificate, a quick check of the current validity status of Alice's signing certificate was in order, which Thunderbird indicated as still valid, and which also the Wireshark recording on Eve's machine indicated by containing an OCSP response package for Alice's signing certificate with a certificate status indicated as good. Then, revoking the digital signature certificate of Alice is done by stopping the OCSP endpoint running on the machine of Alice, by having OpenSSL revoke Alice's signature certificate, and by restarting the OCSP endpoint with a then updated database of revoked certificates. The OCSP endpoint running on the machine of Alice is just the minimalistic OCSP server as provided by OpenSSL for testing purposes, and the revocation of Alice's digital signature certificate is essentially just the adding of the serial number of Alice's certificate to a little file serving as the database of revoked certificates. This database of revoked certificates is queried by the OpenSSL OCSP server each time a new OCSP request arrives, and if the OCSP server finds the serial number contained in the OCSP request in the database of revoked certificates, the OCSP server will indicate in its OCSP response that the corresponding certificate is indeed revoked. After having now indeed revoked the digital signature certificate of Alice, Bob, then once trying to open again the signed and encrypted email of Alice, will now find that Thunderbird marks this email with an icon having a fat red cross on the mail envelope, and once clicking on this envelope, Thunderbird makes clear that the email contains a digital signature that is not considered to be valid anymore. Apologies, but I again think that this is quite cool, and this proves that Thunderbird indeed follows the semantics as defined by X.509 PKIs, at least with respect to the features of X.509 PKIs as we have it investigated in this demonstration. Going for a last time onto the machine of Eve and filtering her network capture to OCSP packages, then shows a last OCSP package where from the OCSP response it's then clear that the OCSP responder of the issuing ZA1 now indeed returned the newly revoked status of Alice's digital signature certificate, and with this revoked certificate status then leading to Bob's Thunderbird no longer successfully validating the signature on the signed and encrypted email of Alice. This concludes the demonstration of how OCSP as a protocol is indeed capable of providing an up-to-date perspective on the revocation status of the certificates involved, which is a feature that the certificates just by themselves lack, as all they can provide is a static maximum lifetime as specified by the validity period listed on the certificate.